Alright, so we've been talking about using our rope to get to maneuver, right? This is what we've been talking about. We've been talking about our tactical rope for maneuvering, okay? So, we've been talking about steel carabiners, we've been talking about Prussics for safetying, right? Okay. I never used a Prussic myself as a safety, but you can. All right. The thing is that if you're going to use it for a safety in general, that means that you're probably going to be needing your hands for some point, because you're trying to get some kit down wherever you're going, okay? And you're going to need your hands, okay? Now, so you're going to want some Prussic lines made up already in your kit, maybe like 3 or 4, okay? Probably like 4 would be a good number. I always carried 4, so at least 4. I might have had 5. It doesn't matter, it's years ago. Anyway, so you always carry some Prussics, because you could use it just for controlling loads, right? So if you got something on a line and you're trying to lower it down, it might be some cargo or what have you, then you could control the load, right? Anyway, but in a Minuteman scenario, we're mostly concerned about ourselves, right? So we got basic minimal equipment for ourselves to get down obstacles. So I've got this set up using my steel carabiner. I've taken a few wraps on there. So this carabiner is a very overrated carabiner. It can handle this kind of a situation using it to excel with, okay? This isn't for, like, you know, going crazy, right? You're just trying to get down the dang cliff without killing yourself, right? Everybody needs to be intact when they get to the fight, right? So you take a couple wraps on there, and then you're just going to let it out. If you need to, you can throw that back around your hip and lock that down easily. I could just stand here all day long and I'm not going to go anywhere. My rigger's belt, the more weight that I put on it, the tighter that clamp gets, okay? So don't worry about that. That ain't going nowhere. Not with my big fat body on there. So anyway, that'll be nice and tight. And as you can see, there's already a little bit of a gap there, right? That's something you got to think about. Okay, I don't wear my belt super tight anyway. Alright, so why do we do this with the carabiner? Okay, this is one of the reasons why we have a steel carabiner instead of an aluminum one. Because then we could just get rid of the figure 8 altogether. Alright, we could just get that out of the equation. That's just one less thing that we need to be bothering with. Alright. Regular figure 8 too can dog ear on you if you're not careful. And it can dog ear on you and then you get locked up. Right? So that's why they have those what they call Rescue 8 that has the ears on the sides. It keeps it from coming up and girth hitching itself and locking you off, and then you're screwed. Yeah, I almost said something else. Right, so as you can see, this rope, they sent it with a couple of these nice bands, right, to keep it all together, blah, blah, blah. But you know those are going to go away because this is going to go in a small rope bag, you know, which will get stowed on me in some way, form, or fashion. And that'll be that. Now you say, well, if I get one of those ropes, and I gotta cut it amongst 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, you want to cut equal pieces, right? So what you want to do is you want to get yourself a heated object. Let's just call it a heated object. A professional rope cutting tool would be basically a heated razor blade gun. Okay, so it's like a little gun. It's got a razor blade on it. Heats up like a soldering iron, right? And then you just cut through the rope and it melts as you cut through, right? Now, I'll tell you, the way that we used to do it in the old days is we would get yourself the old roll of electrical tape. Now this is green, but generally you just have a roll of black electrical tape, and you would put a bit of electrical tape to one side of where you wanted to cut it. You mark where you want to cut it, and then on either side of that cut line you wanted to put a little bit of black electrical tape to keep it from unraveling when you cut it with your knife. So you would cut that with your knife through, and then you'd get your lighter out of your pocket. Okay, everybody should have a lighter for little situations like this. And then you melt both of the bitter ends after you cut it, right? And just leave the electrical tape on there. That's why you might find some old hank of rope that somebody's used in the past, and you will see that, and that's what that's from. And that's how you do it in the field. Yeah. Anyway, rope work. You gotta have a little bit of knowledge of rope work, because you're gonna need it. At some point you will need it for something. Okay? Some kind of obstacle, you're either gonna have to get up something or you're gonna have to go down something. Your prusik lines are good for getting up. You get a rope up around something and get it to come back down to you. You know, you just swing it up and it comes back down to you. Maybe it went around a tree. And then, you know, you pull yourself up. If it's tough, put a prusik line on. Attach that prusik line to your belt. Alright? With the carabiner. And then as you go up, slide that prusik up. I mean, you're carrying your kit. You got a load on. You got a rucksack and everything else. Weapon, ammo. You got weight. So you get up to that point, and then you take the rope off and do it again. You just keep going until you get to the top, whatever that daggone obstacle is, and then you're done. Then you stow your rope away. You want to take care of your rope. You don't want to just step on it all in the mud and other crap like that, because when you do that, that will get dirt and tiny rocks, microscopic rocks down into the sheath and start cutting it from the inside. So don't be stepping on your rope. That's a bonehead maneuver. You don't want to do that. So avoid stepping on your rope, because it will get stuff pushed into the sheath. Right? This sheath here is designed to protect the core, and the core is where most of the strength is on most ropes. Now, that's not true for all ropes. This is a static rope. A dynamic rope is designed to take a fall from above down and jerk to a stop. That's a dynamic rope. This is a static rope. This rope is not designed for a dynamic situation. It's designed for a soldier, for static situations of overcoming obstacles. That's what it was designed for. You can rappel on it. You can use it to help you get up stuff. You can help yourself get down stuff. You can help yourself get across small rivers and streams and things like that. You can use it for that. But for rock climbing, this is not for that. I noticed there is a video of a guy on YouTube. He does damage this rope. It didn't break, but he threw a load which was weighed approximately 220 pounds or so down through a hole, and there was slack, which is a no-no, because that's slack is not for a static rope, it's for dynamic rope. Dynamic rope's designed for slack. Static rope is not designed for slack. Anyway, he dropped this load. It had slack in it, and it went over a 90-degree edge, and it jerked to a halt. And he did it, I think, 3 times. And one time he had some damage to the sheath or whatever, but the rope held. Actually, I was impressed. I was impressed because this rope is not designed for that, because it's a static rope. A static rope is going to transfer more of the force to the human body than a dynamic rope. Do you understand? A static rope will transfer more of the force to your body than a dynamic rope. A dynamic rope has stretchiness to it, so it acts like a little shock absorber, right? So if you fall on a dynamic rope, you know, it's not going to hurt too much, right? You probably get hurt more of like falling into an object, like the side of a cliff, okay? Anyway, so what's the maximum that a human body can take? Force, 12 kilonewtons, 12 kN, that's the max. People don't survive past 12, okay? So this particular carabiner is rated to 50 kN, 50 kilonewtons, right? This particular carabiner is rated to 72 kilonewtons. That's this one here. It's Omega, 72, 50. 50 is plenty. I just got that one because it's nice and tactical, you know. It's anodized. Anyway, so this one is it's what do they call that? Anyway, it's some kind of, got some kind of a coating on it, right? Steel, so it doesn't rust, right? I can't remember what they call it. You know, my memory is not good. Okay. Well, I think that would be it for these videos. For these overview videos of this, why you need this particular equipment in your patrol kit. Okay, this is a basic overview for your patrol kit, dealing with obstacles. What you need on you in your kit: you need your rope, you need a couple of carabiners. I always carried 2. You might want to carry more, but it is also going to depend on how much stuff you have to start with. You know, you want to minimize the weight, right? And the weight goes in ammunition and mission specific stuff, right? So this is kind of mission specific, right? And I'm in the mountainous area. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of variables to this stuff. I'll see you in another one. Bye for now.